Okay, good morning, good morning, good
Good
morning.
morning.
Listen, I've been over there working, okay? Hello, Dunn Washington. Hello. How are you?
How
She's
you
checking in from Florida.
doing? Good morning,
Okay, okay,
Florida.
okay.
The
Thanks for
the
joining
George
us.
Washington, I want to say.
You know Dunn Washington?
I
That's your
do.
girl?
I
That's your girl?
do.
That's your people?
The Don
Hey, good
Washington.
morning, Sherelle. Webb is in the
Morning.
building.
Yeah.
Hello. She's like, oh, I'm loving this communication series. Listen.
Oh, bless you.
All right. Dunn said,
Bless
hey,
you.
friends. What's going on? Dunn said, don't do me. Okay, okay,
I
okay.
give honor where it's due. I give honor where it's due.
Listen.
That's just
Listen,
that
that's what
on
we do
that.
over here.
That's
That's
what
what
we
we do
do.
around here. We gonna
That's
we
what
gonna
we do.
we gonna bless you. Bam. I think that's a little better. What we thinking?
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
Better? All right, cool beans.
Yeah.
Listen, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. I'm super excited about seeing you guys this morning.
Mhm.
Oh, yes. What, Sherelle? I agree with you, Webb. This series right here, baby, we didn't tap into something because all
Oh,
weekend,
with it.
Christy, let me tell you, all weekend, all weekend. Oh my God. I have been getting calls and having
Yes.
conversation about our conversation.
Yes.
Communication is the key to everything.
It
And
is.
when I tell you, I got one call that said, now this Christy lady, do she do, I said the Christy lady, do she do webinars? Do she have any type of material? What is her fees? What's going on? How do I get her? I'm gonna cut that off. How do I get her to my site? I said, you just inbox her
That's it.
until she give me a good
That's
I
it.
said she gonna drop her handles and all her business today. Cause
Yes.
see, y'all ain't gonna just attack me. Good morning, Monica Williams. Candace Way out is in the building. But
Yeah.
I told her, I said, girl, if you let her bless your life
Yeah.
with that communication and all the other things she do, it's gonna bless your world. So all I'm saying is this thing is catching on, Christy.
Yes.
And it's something that's needed.
Girl, listen. I
Yeah.
Amen. I don't even, that's
I mean,
definitely inbox me. Kristi Michelle, Tay Brand Enterprises. Is also my business page. And I'm just excited. I'm honored that
yeah.
to just be here. I don't know what to say.
Listen,
I don't
I'm
know what to
honored that you decided to come and sit with us early in the morning because, see, it takes a whole lot of people
say.
uh, inside of yourself to tell your one self, get up.
It do. You stretching me though, but I appreciate it because I've
Listen,
said some little prayers for this year, and I was like, okay, but it's just January, Lord. It was like, well, you asked
so
for
you,
it, I
so you
did,
do know,
I
you do
did,
know
Lord.
God's years is not our years, right?
Listen. Don't be asking for something you don't want. Your mom used to say that. Don't ask for something that you really don't want. Don't ask for that steak and potatoes on your plate if you really didn't want to eat it. And I'm like,
You did well. Yeah,
okay,
it is gonna bless your life, Don. Yes, yes, yes. She says she is a gift to the body.
okay.
Yes, she is. Yes, Don, she is. I agree with you on that. So listen, Christy, today we're gonna have this good conversation about body language.
You know what
But
I was
let
in
me
my
but
spirit
let me say
too?
this here. Let me say this here.
What you
The
got?
dress,
We supposed to be on here talking about body language, but I'm gonna say thank you. But I'm gonna say thank you. I had a
because
good
is that not a form of body language?
time. It
You
is.
talked about it on Friday. You
Listen,
said what you're dressing like.
I did. I walked up on it, but let me tell you something. It was a dress from 2019, right? I recycled the dress. There's nothing wrong with that. First of all, can we pause that I could still fit the dress from 2019?
Come
I
on
just
now.
want to say that I could still fit the dress from 2019. That's a blessing in its own, okay? And I just normally this is a transparency moment. Normally I get a little something when I walk into an event without a date, right? I don't know what that is. When you walk into an event without a date, I feel kind of I shrink on the inside because I feel like I'm less
Ooh.
than, right? Um However, the Lord has been working with me on that. The Lord has been working with me on, you need to walk in the room like you own the room. It's not a cocky thing, but walk in there like you know who you are. You know whose you are. Okay, you don't have a physical date standing by your side. And what does that mean, Christy? That means nothing. That don't mean you can't get a date. That does not mean that you're ugly. That's not mean that you're unattractive. You don't want everybody standing by you anyway, being in your space anyway. Stop letting everybody shine with you. I said, okay, Lord. You know, sometimes we just want somebody to be there just to be there. And then that's automatically telling somebody, dang, she just go somewhere with anybody. No, I'm the prize. Everybody ain't able to walk into this event with me on my arm. So I'm gonna
So
walk.
you could, so you couldn't call me and tell me this.
I'm sorry. So I walked in that thing, and my soror said, you know, I was getting compliments on my dress. This, you know, you look good. Thank you so much. Of course, I returned compliments, and one of my soror said, "You walking in that dress?" I said, "Thank you." I walked like I was supposed to be there, and I walked
And
and
well,
I owned the room,
that's
and
what
that's
that's
not a
what Don
cocky
said.
thing.
Don said, own it. Yep, you did.
And I
Yeah.
did. And I had the best time. I had the best time with no date, to the fact where we like, when is the next event? We all getting in the same table again, us ladies. Leave them dates at home. If you came with a date, I'm so sorry you wasn't at the table with the girls. But it was a great time. It was a great time this weekend. And it was fun. It was good fun.
Ooh, you said some good stuff right there. Oh God,
It
I
was
can't
good
wait. I
fun.
can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait for more dialogue in here. So y'all go ahead and do us a huge favor. Like, tag, and share this video. Let
Yes.
somebody know that we're on. Do us a huge, huge favor. Like, tag, and share. I'm gonna go ahead on and change our layout setting. Boom, bring us in closer. There we
Ooh,
go.
hey, there we go.
We
Got my
here.
coffee this morning.
Yeah, you got your coffee. That's it. I'm gonna have to give me some Kool-Aid tea or something, child. Cause
It's okay.
you know what? I'm trying to keep myself in composure so I won't be throwing stuff. But
Sometimes
that
you
that
don't
that that
realize.
open word down, Carrie, you made me throw some because it was just a confirm,
Mhm.
sealed for everything that I really, truly, honestly learned this weekend. I said,
Well, see,
yeah,
everybody don't need to walk in with you. Everybody don't need to be in your space, and this doesn't mean that. Um, it is. You know, you know how it is when you walk in somewhere and you be like, "That's who they with." Oh, I wonder what they say about her. That's who she roll with. That's who they.
mhm,
It's just how you show up and communicate. It's just a form. And
yeah,
I had the best time. All I can say is I had the best time. I was confident, and not having a date did not mean this, and this.
yeah.
know, we're just
Confident in
taught so
knowing.
many things.
Yeah.
We're taught so many things growing up. I know I was, growing up, that you don't go nowhere by yourself. That this means that or the other, and just it's time to
Mhm.
break that. It's time to break that, and it's okay.
Yeah, oh
And,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
You do
amazing.
better by yourself. You do your best work. Honestly, I can say this from experience of walking in spaces. Um, when I have not taken a date,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's a room where I want to network in. Thank
Yeah.
you, Don, for sharing. If it's a room where I want to network in, I like to. I consider that work. So if I have a date, I feel like I gotta entertain my date and also try to work at the same time. And I'm like, no, I'm not here to try to work and date. I need to be working. And
Hey,
so, I ain't got time to be hollering about, you all right? Let me get you a drink. No, I ain't got time for that. Oh, this is such a, baby, sit down. And then
yeah.
you're sitting there and I'm looking like, am I talking to this person too? But I ain't got time for all that.
You
Let me just
worry
go
about your own
along.
stuff. Mhm.
Let me go handle business.
Yeah.
Let them, let them get a few kicks and giggles out of what I'm doing and who I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
And then I'll see you at a later time. But
Yeah.
when I did bring dates into events, it was
Yeah.
where I knew we was gonna be sitting down the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. And
And
you
I knew
gotta
that I
know.
could sit there and entertain with you. So
And you
yes, ma'am.
know.
Great job. Congratulations to you. Good job.
Thank you. I'm learning, child. I'm still learning.
Hey, you said you asked the prayers for God, and that's what he do. He just changes situations over and out. So let's talk about body language. Come on now.
You
I'm gonna
know,
give you. I'm gonna start it off so we can get. I'm gonna start
go
this
ahead,
game off.
because
What my face says.
the body language be languaging.
I'm gonna start off with what my face says.
You know, my face. See, there you go, folding them arms. Let me tell you something. First, let me tell you something about body language. We can't hide it. We cannot hide body language.
Yeah.
We talked about it before. The body naturally just reacts in certain situations. It takes a lot of practice, like FBI training practice, to not to train your body to not react in a certain way. Um, man, a lot of times my face gets me in trouble. I guess we're gonna go with that. My face gets me in trouble. Um, the way that you can turn somebody off with the let's just talk about body language and the way you walk into a room. So I'm trying to figure out how we can start here. Walking into a room, you can shift the atmosphere, I believe, with your body language in a good way and in a negative way. It just tells so much. You know, your kid walking in the house and they walking in, they slumped over. Those are the obvious things is what I could say. You know, walking in, demeanor is changed, demeanor is different. It's the subtle body languages that we need to pay attention to whenever we're talking to a person and we're actively engaging with the person. You can kind of tell when somebody is like not paying attention, they're drifting off. You got the eyes that's gonna roll and move to the side, and then you also have some people that's just gonna stare you in the face. And sometimes we interpret that, Miss Nikki, as, oh my God, they're being attentive, they're paying attention. Sometimes they could be paying attention. Sometimes you've asked them a serious question and they trying to lie their way out of it. And one of the ways they want to look at you in their eyes because we've been taught so much, let look a person in the eye, let them know you're serious. Sometimes we could use that as a form of manipulation to look somebody in the eye and you really just telling them a whole bunch of nothing. But because they look at me in my eye, then they must be telling me the truth and they must be doing what they need to do. Good morning, Chantel. Um, Chantel is joining in from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay. Lake Charles, Louisiana's in the house.
Um, but body language is important whenever you are delivering a message, whether it be an intimate message with someone, a one-on-one conversation, or even when you're delivering a message to a crowd, to an audience. You know, whenever I do train or I am talking out into a large group of people, I was always taught it's good to walk the room. It's good if you're a walker. Go ahead and walk that room if you have the ability. Make eye connection with people. If you feel like you losing somebody, back in the day, we used to be able to put our hands on somebody's shoulders, you know, just to kind of, hey, are you still with me? Now these days,
Don't touch nobody.
it's you don't touch nobody. We don't know where everybody's mind is. We don't know what everybody's mind is. Um, Another thing, Miss Nikki, it is okay to do. It's okay to offer people a break. It's okay to break what you're
Yeah.
saying and ask somebody, "Are you okay? How are you with
Yeah.
this conversation?" Your
Oh,
body
wow.
language is telling me that
Good
something is a
morning,
little
Nakia.
off. Good morning, that something is a little off. It's okay to stop and check in with the person. It's all a part of communication. You know, if you and I was doing this in front of people that we could see, and we can see some people is getting a little testy, they may be getting a little edgy, they maybe start fidgeting with their phone, their legs start tapping, they may be, hey, we need to check and meet with some people. How are you checking in? You know, let's talk about how are you receiving this information. Body language is just key. If a person is mentally, you know, drifting or they're no longer with you, then you're talking for no reason. You're not getting through to that person. Either they have a wall up for whatever reason. And we need to know how to read these cues. We're going to miss the cues sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we miss the cues because we gotta say, we gotta say, we gotta get our point across, and you gonna hear me on this good day because I've been holding all of this in. I need to tell you, and you know, people like to say they just blew up. I don't know what happened. I didn't see the warning sign. You saw them getting agitated. You saw them get up and try to take some circles. You saw them hold their head down. You saw them tap and look around. You saw that body rocking. All of that tells things. You saw all
Wow.
of that happening. But no, you chose to ignore it. Body language is important. It's important to stop. It's important to stop and tell somebody, hey, do you realize that you are bought, that you are mean mugging me right now? What's going on? Because a person to sit and tell you, I'm fine, I'm good, continue with the conversation.
That's my regular face.
Yeah. And here's the deal. Some people do have just resting faces. But then
Yeah.
again, some people just use that. At the end of the day, you just may not be engaged in the conversation, and you're just looking at the person like, come on, get this over with. Like you say, Charlie Brown, you go into want,
Blah,
want,
blah,
want.
blah, 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 blah.
And then
Mhm.
sometimes you can kind of tell that on somebody's face. Body
Wow.
language is important. It's important. It's
True.
important on how you give off your body language when you're talking to somebody. If I'm talking to somebody and you walk in, I got my hands on my hip because I'm ready to tell you something, and my favorite snatch the air and all of this and that. I'm gonna lose so many audiences like that versus walking in, owning the room, being confident, walking with your head held high. Our parents used to
Yeah.
teach us that. Walk in the room with your head held high.
Yeah.
It's a reason why people pay attention to that. People respect that. I don't know why. That's the way we set up. I don't have the why to why you got to do it. It's just
Yeah.
if you want to get business done. You can't walk in a room with an investor with your head slouching, and when you go to shake their hand, you being all meek and mild. Mm-mm.
Why do we believe
Walk
that
in there.
The Mickey Mile is in a slave movie? Ain't that so?
Can we say how we've just been taught? We've been taught we've confused with being confident and prideful. We've used those things interchangeably, not realizing one is totally exclusive of the next. You can be confident and not be proud. And why is it okay to not be proud? I don't know where we got this from. Don't be going walk around being prideful. Yeah, I think we took that from a scripture and we twisted that all kind of 50 million ways to make it fit. And it's not big. It's okay to be proud of what you do. I tell
Yeah.
my kids I'm proud of them. God tells me he's proud of me. Why you can't be proud of yourself? I never understood why we thought that was a bad thing. That was a bad thing. Stay humble. It's okay to stay humble and still know you that chick. It's okay to stay humble and still know you this and this and this. It staying humble sometimes keeps you playing it safe. Staying humble sometimes will have you shrinking in front of the wrong person where you're supposed to be standing up saying, no, I'm the candy beerus of this. I run all of this. I make all of this happen behind the scenes. You gotta learn how to speak up and be confident. Let your body language know I'm here.
Yes, indeed, Chantel. Yeah.
You just have to. But it's retraining the mind. It's retraining your mind. It's retraining the way you do it. It's practice. You have to practice effective communication. It is not something you just get up and decide I'm just gonna do well in. I've been to several management classes. I have been trained. Had to be trained. And then you gotta willing to be coachable. When somebody tells you
Mhm.
you're in a staff meeting and you turn all of the staff away just by the way you look at them, and then you come back and say, well, don't look at my face to know how I feel. Well, that's human nature. That's what people are going to do. That is just what people are going to do. You could have something else on your mind, and then that could be carrying over into your face. Work on it. Stop saying that's just who I am. Work
Yeah,
on it.
I have to definitely work on my face because I
Work
get
on
quiet. After I get quiet, my face
it. And
it
you
becomes
disengage.
something,
Yeah.
huh?
And then you
Yeah, it
become
becomes,
disengaged, and that's
oh,
it.
oh, once I'm quiet, I believe this is me. Once
Mm-hmm.
I'm quiet, I'm more engaged
Mm-hmm.
in what you're saying and doing because I'm
Mm-hmm.
really
Mm-hmm.
attentive. I'm very attentive, like do, 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 do. And it's like I know I'm not crazy. Now, when I was speaking, I was really there,
Mm-hmm.
but now that I'm silent, I'm really, really seeing confirmation from what I said when I was talking. Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening. Study to be quiet. Well, when you're studying to be quiet, you paying more attention
Okay.
because there's no communication coming between your lips
You're listening.
and you're listening. And you're really grabbing that place of where you said, I'm not trying to play pride, humble, head down. I'm trying to be focused forward with my confidence and
Mm-hmm.
able to have that uncomfortable conversation to maintain it so that it can become agree to disagree. But we can come to some place where we both are going to be accountable for who we are.
You
That's
you
my
hit
desire.
you hit the nail on the head with uncomfortable conversation. Body
Okay.
language will carry an uncomfortable conversation way further than the spoken word. It just it's already uncomfortable. Let's just be with it. It's already uncomfortable. It's a learned skill to have that conversation and keep your cool. Um, and you got to read body language. You got to know. Yeah, I wanted to be in a former life. I'm too old. My dream job was to be a forensic interviewer, like for the FBI. I love watching Law and Order SVU, and I like Dr. Wong. you know, I love Dr. Wong, right? If you ever watch it, Dr. Wong is always the one that he never enters the interview room, but he watches from behind the screen with the police officer, and he watches how the interview is going. And his sole job is to read body language while they're giving information. And he can come back and say, oh no, and he'll buzz into the room and say, hey, whenever you mention mama this and this, I noticed that he kind of leaned back and looked to the side, and he picked up his pinky finger or whatever it may be. Go back to that. Tap, 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 tap right there. That's where you
Yeah.
need to touch. Or he'll go back in and say, hey, it's getting heated. I can tell his body language. It's just, I can tell by the way they're breathing. It's getting ready to
Wow.
get heated in there. You need to back up. I always thought, man, you can tell all of that just by studying the body language and how they react to certain things. I always thought that was so amazing, but it takes work.
Wow.
You got to learn that, but you can apply that in every day. It don't have to be a criminal situation. You
Yeah.
can apply that in every day.
Cause you,
It will
'cause
save your life learning how to read body language.
do you think that's a people watcher thing? A lot of that skill is people watching.
Are you a people watching it? No. I think you have to like to people watch
Yeah.
to do that. You have to definitely be interested in people watching. You have to be a detailed person in it. But more than that, you have to be present. You have to be mentally present to catch the clues for body language in a conversation.
Mhm.
You have to be mentally present. And you have to act on them. You have to act on them. You have to know what you're reading. But yes, you
Mhm.
have to be a people watcher. You have to be a people watcher. But I love body language. I mean, it's just what we naturally do. You naturally drift off. We talked about it last week. You naturally, when you're disengaged, your body language will literally turn you away from the conversation because you ain't trying to
Mhm.
hear no more of that shit. I'm
You
good
right.
on it.
I don't
I'm
want it.
good on it. That's the first thing we do. I'm good. That's what we do. Look,
Yeah.
looking up. There they go.
Oh
It
yeah,
was,
definitely.
you
Definitely
know,
that one. Definitely the and
but
then the road down the head. It's the
when
so
you're
what does that
looking up,
mean?
when
What
you're
does that
looking up
mean,
and to
Christy,
the
when they
left,
go up and then they
when
come back down with it?
it depends on which way you're looking. If you take good communication class, they'll tell you somebody is looking up and looking to the left. And when it says the left, they're looking for information. You access a certain part of your brain. You have a creative brain and you
Okay.
have a black and white brain per se. So by nature, when you're trying to be creative, when you're trying to think of something to say, your brain, your eyes will naturally shift to that side of the brain that you're trying to access. The body is just amazing. So free tidbit. Now don't y'all be going home looking at y'all spouse or whoever being like, let me see which way they looking. Let's not do that. But it's
Christy
like
said you was looking at your left side. So you trying to come up with something
look,
to say to me?
look, you try to look up with the right, but you naturally aim that way that you're
Mhm.
trying to access. If you notice when you ask somebody a question, well, Christy, what do you like to do for fun? Hmm. Hmm. I'm thinking. I'm accessing. The military go through a lot of training for you to not naturally react, to know if you're trying to
Yeah.
make up a lie.
Yeah.
That's a specialized person in the military that you will get caught with the enemy to train your body to not react in certain situations that you're gonna naturally do.
Wow.
That's how serious when we grasp how serious our body language. But yeah, if you look up to the left or if you look up to the right, you roll. You accessing. You trying to figure out. Let me see. Let me think. Either what lie can I come up with, or let me genuinely think. Either one, you're trying to be creative. You got left
Yeah.
brain people and right brain people holding the conversation. But just rolling around, I would be like, God damn, that's just damn. We going back. We going back here again. Okay.
Wow.
It's just so key. It's just so
So
key.
is that
Body
so
language.
is that the is that the I'm so over this,
It could be.
or here you go again
It could be.
gesture
I'm
the
so over this. Here you go again. This shit here. That Negro. It's just kind of what you do. Just I can't get nothing right. Why we back here again? We back here again. We back here again. It's,
again.
it's just natural, huh?
Okay.
It's just natural, right? Um, you gotta read it. Now listen, another thing with body language we have to be cognizant of and aware. You don't have to call everybody on everything at one single time. It's a lot to take in. Because once
Yeah.
you tell somebody, why you always doing that when you talk? Then they're gonna start being conscious about it. And then
Yeah.
they're not gonna focus on the conversation. They're more so worried about the body language. So you kind of
How they come into the space with you. Yeah.
yeah. I get told this. I get told this when I get into intense moments of fellowship with some people that I love and care about. I like to call them that. I do that in a setting. Okay, so we're having an intense moment of fellowship. It's a nice way of saying we arguing. But doesn't it sound better? Doesn't that sound better? Y'all could use that one. Doesn't it sound so much better? Intense moments of fellowship. It sounds great, doesn't it? Does it? It just
We're
takes
having an intense moment in fellowship
it
today.
takes the sting out. It takes the sting out, and
Okay.
rightfully so. But I've been told in those moments by several people, don't come up in here shrinking me. Oh, so now you shrinking me because I will stop and say, I see the way you looking. Look, why are you taking those deep breaths? Are you okay? Do you need to stop me? Guess what? Don't come up in here shrinking me, Kristi. Well, I'm just saying what I'm saying. Probably not the right time to exercise my to do that.
No, please don't. Please don't work at home.
So, but
Don't bring
here's
your
the
work home, as they
But
say.
but here's the deal though, Nikki. Once you start learning how to read body, like I took the training, of course, in school by nature, and then I would always get refreshers at work. It's hard to not know how to read somebody. It's almost like if you just know human behavior, you just know human behavior. You can't like turn it off. So what I have to learn is that obviously I'm communicating, I'm treating this person like a professional deal, and this is supposed to be a conversation between us. So I have to
Mm,
be more cognizant. Like you said, don't bring work home. That's probably how that person feels. I'm no longer having a conversation with Kristi, my friend. Now I'm having a conversation with Kristi, the professional, and I don't want her. That's not the space
mm,
for Kristi, the professional.
ooh,
So I got to be aware of that body language. Maybe that's what that body language is telling me. I don't need
yeah.
Kristi professional. I need
I
Kristi
need
my friend.
Christy, the person.
I need
Yeah,
Kristi. I need
definitely.
Kristi. I need
Yeah,
Kristi. I need Kristi. That's it.
yeah,
Before all of that other stuff, and
yeah.
it's hard to turn off, Miss Nikki. Miss Nikki, it's hard to turn off whenever I see everything you ain't saying.
So
When
do
I
so
see
do
every,
you so do you think that that's a place where that's a mind conversation between you,
me
and
and
then you're trying to navigate
me,
through, but
uh-huh.
it still comes out of your mouth,
It does. I have
those
to not
those
let.
key words. So you got to find other words.
I have to tell myself, don't do that to
I
that
know,
person.
Chantel, good nuggets, exactly.
Thank you, friend. I have to tell myself. Sometimes we got to tell ourselves, "Hey, this ain't the time for that. This person don't want that part of you." And I
Mm,
can come back and say, "Well, that's just who I am. That's just me." I have to stop saying that. Yes, that's who I am, Kristi. But does this conversation or this person mean enough to you to change you for the sake of this conversation? Because
yeah.
just because you right don't mean you gotta always bring it in the conversation. Yeah, I know how to read body language. For whatever reason, that person is like, I don't need that ish today. I just they don't want that part of me. And that's fine.
Yes,
And that's
yes,
fine.
yes,
Yeah.
Chantel. Yes,
Um,
Chantel.
so
She say
you
me
gotta,
being in management. This
yeah,
is helping me this morning.
good.
Oh, Chantel. Yes, ma'am.
That's
Please go
that
back and watch the other
it,
shows that's gonna help lead you to this one.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have to tell myself, okay, Kristi, don't get all professionally with that person. This is not the time
Okay.
and the place or the space for it. So I have to do what I have to do to get myself out of that space before I want to have a conversation with somebody that I care about. And it may have to be with me coming home or taking off that manager hat, whatever it may be. It may be me. I like to serve. I'm a server by nature. I feel like I have a servant's attitude, and a servant. I just like to serve. So it may do something as I might fix my son some food and bring it up to his room. I may decide to serve. It for me, it takes me out of that mindset. That's just Kristi. Certain people, you know yourself. You know what lets you take off the manager hat and then put on
Mhm.
the friend hat. And so when I can do that with myself, that's my mechanism. Then I know I'm about to have a conversation with my friend. I'm about to have
Yeah,
a conversation with my friend. We
yeah,
may say, hey, grab you some water. Let's get some popcorn. You gotta do what you gotta do to put yourself in the mindset. I don't have to sit in front of my friend with my coffee and be like, I'm ready for this conversation. That's not you getting a professional.
yeah, yeah,
No, grab me a beer, grab
yeah.
me a little drink. It's okay, Pete. Grab me a glass of wine, and that
Listen,
way, let's have this dialogue, and then that's what you do, and that's what
this
you do. But you
this
have to know
difficult
yourself
this
well
difficult
enough.
space,
You got to know
knowing that we're
yourself.
gonna. Mm,
You got to know that with yourself,
yeah,
and you got to stop saying, "Well, that's just who I am." And I know it's easier than done when you're of a mature age and you've been with yourself all your life for longer. It's not easy to say, I need to change this about myself. But if the relationship or that is worth it, if that business relationship is worth it, that platonic relationship, friendship is worth it, you're gonna work on yourself. That's
yeah,
just that on that. You're gonna work on
yeah.
yourself.
Definitely,
That's
definitely.
it.
And I can go with you on that the whole ride because as a early child care professional and in my times of dating my friends, they don't even like for me to say friends because I say that with children.
I
I'm
mean,
not one of them kids.
I'm
I'm
not
not
one of
one of them
the kids.
kids at that daycare. I'm like, first of all, I don't do daycare. I have an early child care
See,
learning institute.
see,
That's what
and
we do. We are
they don't
learning.
even want to be corrected with that. They don't even want to be corrected with that. You got a daycare for this conversation, Miss Nikki.
I be losing. I be losing and cringing at the same time. Don't call me no daycare. So the same is it goes both ways. The
Yeah,
same as I am saying, listen, friend, come in, friend. Don't call me no friend. I'm not no friend.
listen, and you
Or my subtle soft tone. Okay, that's fine. See,
no,
now
no.
you just
Now
being
you're using the
sarcastic.
inside voice. Yeah, yeah, that part. And we be
I'm
trying to
not being
say it
sarcastic. I'm
sarcastic. Look,
speaking.
and here's the deal. I'll be a little on petty. I'll be a little on petty. I'm like, okay. Look at me. Left side. Anyway, y'all listen. Y'all, if you start being cognizant with yourself when you try to be creative, you'll catch yourself looking up to the left. It's amazing. The brain is amazing. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
you gotta come in this way, but that's true though, Miss Nikki. You was like, I don't have no daycare. I have an establishment, and you
Yeah.
know, we know what they meant. I get what you
I know what they mean, but I'm changing languages around here.
say.
Daycare, the definition of a daycare, let me give y'all this side note. A daycare is a babysitting club. Those are people that go
Right.
in and do nothing. I am a early child care educator. I matter too. I'm the first teacher to the next step teacher.
See,
Thank you.
you got to educate me because you know I didn't
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't you know
Well,
I don't be
well,
knowing.
let me tell you, that is the first thing that I always let people say, let them know. We did it first. We
Yeah,
teach children how to do everything. How did you tie your shoes?
that's
Over
true.
under two bunny ears, cross through the
That's
barrel
true.
pool. And you know how
That's
to tie
true.
your shoes forever.
That's true. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can tell you every profession that is out there, we've created that profession through blocks, through manipulatives, through
I can't teach
um
reading. I don't think I can teach nobody. Big ups for anybody teach somebody how to read. I can't. I can't
oh,
do
that's no problem. You
it.
teach children to read every day, sight words.
Yeah, to you, but I be this would be me.
It's easy. Where do you like to eat? McDonald's. Picture of what? What is this? McDonald's. You just taught children to read because most people read by signs.
Mhm.
And then you get to putting that word, those letters together. That's why I don't teach children how to say their ABCs in order. That's what we have a song for. But I teach you M, C, you know, yeah.
Gotcha.
Because remember, we're sliding those words together.
And
It's easy.
you'll walk in my class and I'll be like this. And you'll be like, Miss Kristi Bowlane just telling me this is not her class.
Hmm.
This ain't her ministry. This part of it. I love the
And
kid.
and what I'm gonna end up doing is throwing on some good music. Come in music, because that's what's gonna open her wake up all the way up. Now, Miss Christie, what's your favorite trap song? And you're gonna give it to me, singing it and all that stuff. And I'm saying, okay, now let's slide some letters with it. Oh, you know it, girl. You're gonna be reading.
See, Miss Nikki,
I'm telling you.
that's
Because
I love
I'm gonna stop you. Look, what is that? What is that body language when you're stopping people before they even get started?
that's
See,
being wise. Depends on what setting that you're in, Miss
what
Nick.
does that face mean that you just did?
That face man like, ooh, let's see who it is and what setting that we're in. You know, timing is important, and your setting is important.
So
Um,
is it where people like to learn from who they like to learn from?
oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. That makes a difference. How many times your favorite teacher you probably learn the most from that person? You're more receptive from that person. And it could be for various number of reasons. But that's key. You gotta have the person that you like to learn from. It's good if you like that person or you respect that person. We know that that's not always the case, you know, going through college or whatever. But that person that you learn to like and respect, oh my God, you're gonna be already be open to what they have to say. You're gonna be front and center. I love this.
Yeah.
You're gonna be front and center with that person. Um, I love that. I
I
love that.
also what one thing I do also like, Christy, is that when I tell people all the time, tell me your teacher, your favorite teacher that
Mm-hmm.
let you do the teacher that let you get away with all things, the classroom, and
Uh-huh.
they just was a fun teacher. Tell
Mm-hmm.
me their names. And a lot of people be like, oh. I
Oh,
said, now tell me your teacher that was more strict, disciplined, and really truly wouldn't let you get away with things.
oh, we know
They could
that.
tell me their name. They could tell me their name. They could tell me their room number, where they were located at. And I said, now, that's the person who put impact in your life.
Look, and then,
I said, that fun
whew,
person, they didn't teach you nothing but how to waste time.
that's true.
And then you don't even remember them.
I, that's
Think about it.
that's facts on that. I think
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I have some.
Add that to your training because it is the truth.
That's the truth. The
Seriously.
teachers that's gonna tell you what it is, and that's that on that.
Like every school you have, like you just said in college, you can remember that professor that really seriously was one that everybody got a nickname for him and could tell you their whole entire class regimen of how you need to pay attention and you better be on time. They not gonna miss a day. You
Yeah,
know exactly.
yeah, yeah. The one
But
that
the ones who fun, let's be fun, let's go, fun.
yeah, and you know you gotta wait. You gotta mix. You gotta intermingle. It's a way. But let me tell you something. Being a teacher, Miss Nikki. How do you feel as a teacher? Because you do with little ones where they don't have, they're learning their language, they're learning their vocabulary, and all you have is body language for communication. I know that in itself is another skill. How do you navigate that? Because in child welfare, I've had to interview young kids. You go in and you do this and that. I will be the first to say I'm not a registered play therapist. As far as license, I've had to go in and build rapport and learn how to interview kids on their level. Interview them while they're playing. I can understand why they're drawing and writing. I know the techniques and tactics, but a kid that is totally nonverbal all day to read their body language, know what's going on. Miss Nikki, how do you do that? Because that's key.
So with our infants, I could use that as a group. Our infants, remember, they're taught cues
Mhm.
by their sounds. So when they say, oh, somebody runs. Oh, okay. So if I make this sound, someone's going to come and attend to me.
Yeah.
Oh, they're really going to come and they're going to really seriously come see after me.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Wait
So
a minute.
that's the emergency sound and
Yeah.
everything. Okay, so they're really, really coming. So with that, it's also routine. It's
Yeah.
really honestly a natural God's given gift that He's given us all to know the sounds of our children, right? So as a mother, you knew what every sound for your child. I say this all the time when I'm doing parenting classes. I don't care if there is 58 billion children in a room and you are all the way across the room and your child is in a corner deep in the room. When you hear your child say mom or
Or
you hear your
cry.
child
Yeah.
cry,
You be
you
like, that's
go
mine.
and you gonna break through all of those kids to get to your child
Yes.
because that's
Yes.
the natural God-given nature that's
Uh-huh.
there. So for us, for one, because we routine, everything that we teach is in the routine structure. So
Yeah.
because we teach routine, it's already automatic on a rotated schedule that we're going to get to that child.
Yeah.
Now, with parents, we can tell when you were really truly a serious caregiver to your child.
Yeah.
And we can
Yeah.
tell when you're disconnected. Because if a baby comes in, and this is what I tell parents, don't be alarmed. Now, parents, don't be alarmed and thinking, oh Lord, I'm a bad parent because my baby never cry when I leave. No, your child is
No.
routine. And this is why I always encourage parents, please don't spoil the baby. If they're planning on going into childcare, please don't pick them up, hold them, grab them, keep them,
You see my
hold
face?
them, never put them down. They beautiful. But if you place them down, you have to put them down so they can learn how to self-soothe, self-comfort. If you do not do that, you make that job difficult for just the first 3 days in childcare. So if you just so happen to walk in and your baby screaming to the top of their lungs, you're gonna think my baby been screaming and crying all day. No, your baby understands that they've been
Time to go.
cleaned, they've been loved on, they
Yeah.
got their feeding, and now it's time for them to
Yeah.
self-soothe.
Yeah.
So we teach them that, and we know like when they get in there, they get to jumping and getting ready. They know they're in their environment. Children know. They
Yeah.
know where they are. So
Yeah.
when they come into the space out of the routine, so you have to learn that the routine is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And parents, you set the first routine tone so then we can come in and really work with it. Now, if there is no tone set, we'll set it for you. And the way we said it is, remember, we keep in mind that we're professionals. So
She
we
said you don't
have,
say face.
we have so many people
Yeah.
to care for, but versus your one person.
Yeah.
And I tell my staff, parents, they really do love you, but they love their children more. So if they got to make a decision, they gonna love to beat you down behind their kid. So don't don't be afraid to let a parent know. No, little Johnny and Susie, it's fine. We're just doing some more service work to this person. So it's really, truly, honestly, a lot of conversations that
Yeah.
happen. But
Yeah.
some parents just don't understand. And I just tell my staff sometimes, baby, just do your work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if they have an issue, send them to Miss Nikki.
He said just do your work.
Just do your work. Just do your work. Because at
Ooh.
this point, I cannot get a mother to understand, mostly my mommies. Because again, I get it. That's that bun from the belly.
Yeah.
And when we're holding this baby, who you think gonna walk around there all day? And I see parents trying that. My friends who have children, I'd be like, give me that baby, let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh, you gonna spend time with them? No, I'm gonna put them down. I got one friend. I did that. Went over there to our house and
Just
she trying to get. I said, oh, let me see. Let me see. Oh, let me see. Oh, you gonna spend time with Nanny? Nanny gonna put her down.
I'm gonna put
And she's like, and she started having that little Baptist fit.
listen. See?
So her body language let me know she don't never get put down. And that was a traumatic moment for her to be like, oh
Absolutely.
my God, this lady came and put me down.
Oh
But
my
I
God.
walked her through it.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be fine.
You're gonna be fine.
You-
I still throw fits whenever I do the adult way. When I get told no, or I get put down or whatever, and I just
Yeah.
it's I'm 45, Miss Nikki, and
Uh-huh.
I know I was a spoiled baby, and you're right, it carries. You know,
If it's never addressed, it's
oh, it's been trying to be addressed with me. I just be like, this has been my thing. Well, y'all know I'm the baby of the family. Y'all know that's just what it is. You know what? Sometimes it's cute.
yeah,
Sometimes we think certain language, body language, or behavior we think is cute at first, and then you realize this is not
it's
cute.
it's it's it's
Not
really from what I have experienced with my birthday. I love my birthday. Like, April, people gonna hear about it. It's gonna be a post
your
after
birthday,
post after post for you to
as,
understand
as
it's
it
my birthday.
as it should be.
And it should be. But
Yeah.
it offends some people because I love to celebrate me. Now, mind you, this is the only time I'm standing on my soapbox and really pushing out for Nikki. Just Nikki, nobody else, just Nikki.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. You got
Child, folks be
your choice.
offended because you say, listen, it's my birthday. What we doing? It's my birthday. Come on, it's my birthday. People get offended.
Get
And
some new people. Get some new people around you. Get the
oh,
people around you that
honey,
wants to celebrate you. Cause I'm like, it's your birthday. What
ooh, Christy.
we ain't got nothing
If I
planned. What
tell
we
you,
gonna
I don't be
dance on?
worried about that.
Oh, I know it. I know it. I know.
If I tell you, like I say, I'm never selfish until the 1st through the 15th of April. And on the 11th of April, my actual day,
But let me tell you something. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. We done turned that into a negative word. I encourage everybody to be selfish at least once a month. Because you deserve to give yourself the same care and love that you would give somebody else. It's okay to say, you know what, this whole weekend is gonna be full of no's. It's just gonna be me this weekend. I encourage everybody to get a little selfish once a month. But get a
ooh,
little
that's
selfish once a
good.
month. You gonna pull you gotta pour into yourself. You
Yeah,
gotta refresh yourself. You gotta recharge your battery. Sometimes with these cell phones, how we like to be on the phone while it's charging. It can't ever charge like that. So you gotta once a month put yourself up to the side, let it charge into whatever it needs to charge in the
yeah,
city, out of the city, whatever it needs for you to go back and fill your cup up so you can
yeah,
be able to pour out if you want to
yeah,
pour out.
yeah,
I like Ayanna. Some people's like, oh my God, I like Ayanna. I
yeah,
like her. I like her. I
yeah.
like
She be straightforward. She be
she
on it for me.
she be on it, but I love the illustration. I think it's kind of going around now, but she said it to Oprah so many years ago, eons ago. But she talked about filling your cup and how this is for you, and then what's on the saucer, the overflow, and you can go ahead and get it
That's
back.
my word, girl.
You gotta
I
keep that cup
didn't.
filled,
I
and
need
it,
to see that clip. That is my word.
and it's
I say that all
okay.
the time. I said that at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of this year, I said, y'all, you can no longer give from your cup. Everybody need to
You
drink from the
did.
saucer.
You did. I remember you saying that.
Oh my God, please send me that clip. Because
You
that
got
is the
to.
truth.
I mean, but it
Because we
makes
do,
sense
Christy.
though.
We so busy talking about, here, just take my cup. Here, take my cup. Oh, I drink the saucer.
You know why? Because
No, that's not the intention God had for us.
we've been used to giving all it, just giving ourselves, and then we mad when we don't get it in return. We mad when somebody else don't give us their cup and they give us the salsa, and you look like, huh? Ain't nobody told you to give your cup away. Ain't nobody told. Or guess what? Be selective on who you gonna share your cup with. That should be everybody shouldn't get that whole same access to you. I've had a dear friend teach me that everybody don't deserve the same access to you. Everybody don't deserve to know XYZ. Everybody don't deserve to know this and this about your life. You got to put people in stages, put them in their boxes. Some people I'm gonna let my children maybe come on over here and take a sip out of my cup, but if I got it left over, here you go.
Cool.
I'm not gonna do it no more. I used to be so good because you know why? I don't want them to think, and I don't want them to do this and that. And oh well,
Mm,
man, they ain't gonna like me. You see that body language? Ooh, you know,
mm,
you start trying to fix, you start trying to fit that square into that circle until you realize, no, no, I'm not gonna make it because I'm tired today, and this is not gonna happen. And I got to refuel my cup. You know,
yeah,
you have to do it till you see. You have to. And
yeah,
your tribe, your people that knows you, they know, okay, yeah, that's probably for the best. You
yeah,
gotta know. You gotta know.
yeah.
But that's look, that's
That's
my mantra.
good.
That's
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 good.
that's just what it is. That's just what I'm
Yeah,
doing. I don't even know how that fit with body language or not. It might didn't need to fit,
it
but
did.
somebody,
It
but
really
you just
did
gotta
because,
have
like
it.
what you said, like you get into that. That's
Girl,
a
that's
real
weight.
one.
You know, we do this when we're just like,
Like,
oh, when we're just when it's just it's weight on your shoulders. You gotta get that off of there. Get that off of there. Um, you just do. You know, it leads to mental
and it make
health,
you feel better, right?
baby. To not carry the weight, your mind is better. Your mental health and all of that is just. I can't wait till we tap into that and how communication and mental health and this is my we're seeing more suicides. Let me tell you something. I just want to put this out here.
Yeah, put that out there.
Black men committing suicide is nothing new. Let me correct y'all. I did back in my undergrad days, I did research papers on suicide. Suicide has always been it's just been, you know, just it's always intrigued something that I want to research further. Black men has always led suicide. That's nothing.
Mm,
Statistically, look up your statistics.
okay,
Um, Black men, they will do it in another form, or it may be covered over as, oh, they had a drug overdose or this and that. But black men in mental health, that's nothing new. That's
yeah,
nothing new.
a battle.
Um, People will say, well, I didn't see the suicide coming. I didn't see it coming. They were just so happy the day before. Um, when you kind of study the pathology of suicide, which I have, and you learn the body languages and the
Okay,
communication differences with someone who is suicidal versus someone who has made their mind up that I'm going to commit suicide.
okay,
Then you get to know. So I did rape crisis counseling, Miss Nikki. Also, I was one of the
okay,
first responders on the site. Back when I was in Lake Charles, did it for like 5 6 years. I love
okay,
it. I was a crisis intervention person. During that training and throughout my training in child welfare, I've had to learn how to do suicide assessments and be able to write a suicide plan right then and there. Speak to someone at the moment I want to kill myself. Okay, what are we gonna do to not get you to do it? Can I get you to commit for the next 30 minutes? Who can, you know, it's a whole process. You get them to commit for 30 minutes, you get them to commit for the hour, you get them to write a plan. I mean, it's a whole process when you're actually assessing for suicide. No problem. I am qualified and I am trained to do all that stuff. But what you know with a person that's going to commit suicide, and you see the people that may put the post on Instagram now or Facebook, they're at peace. They're happy because they finally made a decision that they can sit with. So a suicidal person, while we're looking for someone who's downtrodden and depressed, or I'll use Twitch because I think he's the most recent person that I can
okay,
think of, celebrity that they're saying committed suicide. They were like, he was so happy the night before. He was dancing with his wife. It's because he made a decision. He made a decision he was going to stick with. Most suicidal people that's made a decision, they don't reach out for help because they don't want to be helped. They know this is going to give me my ultimate peace.
oh,
Kate
got
Spade,
you.
her dad reached out to her the night before. She was so happy the night before.
Yes,
She probably made her decision. It's a peace that you have when you make a decision, and you know I'm getting ready to go to my peaceful place. You don't want nobody to intervene with that.
yeah.
And that probably should be. I know we're coming on time, and I know I
No,
have
this,
you know,
yeah,
we got,
yeah.
but
But
that
we
may
can,
be
yeah, we
something.
can finish this time right here with this because
You know, but
this is because
it's
this is like one of them
huge.
right now
It's
thoughts.
huge. Yeah, it's huge. You
Yeah.
know, it's huge, and it's just communication, knowing your person, being able to call and recognize those things out, especially when it's sensitive. You know, I'm gonna go back to just the black men. You know,
Yeah.
they are being more cognizant with their mental health these days. Um, you kind of gotta know how to teeter, how to do this and that with a person. You gotta know how to, I want to say dance around the subject, but you gotta know how to be tactful. You gotta know how to bring that thing up to not demoralize or emasculate a man. And I'm gonna talk to black men. Nothing against other races, Miss Nikki, but I love black men. I'm a
Yeah.
boy mom. I got black men that will forever be raising.
Yeah.
Um, and I just love a black man, so I'm gonna always reference the black man. you know.
Yeah.
Um, but we have to make that space safe. And the one thing black men do, and probably other men, but they look at how you're going to receive them. They look at your body language. They look at,
Mhm.
is this space safe for me? Not from what you're saying, but what are you doing? How are you communicating with them? So they can know this is a safe space for me to get help, or this is a safe space for me to let this person know, hey, I kind of suffer with anxiety. You
Mhm.
have to make that safe space, especially for our black men. And sometimes you can create the safest space that you can, and sometimes they still may not come forward. You just never know. But that's just huge.
So
That's
so
just
let me
huge.
ask this right here. When 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 black men, so okay, so we have the father in the home
Hmm.
that's silent, but yet he's
Sometimes,
still doing.
sometimes, yeah.
He's still doing. He's still providing. He's always providing.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
we go to him, that's my daddy. Daddy, can you give me this? That he's always provided, but he never says much of anything.
Hmm.
Is that a sign?
No, I wouldn't say that's a sign. I'm so much fun to that. I think you have to know your person. I think you have to know your person. I didn't grow up with a silent father. My father, my father was very loud and outspoken, raised his voice a lot, demanded respect out of fear.
Yeah.
Nothing against my, I'm not talking, I love him to death. I'm a daddy's girl. But he rose his voice. You know, now if my
Mhm.
dad would have totally went silent and changed that behavior, it would have been like, ooh, let me tap in. Let me kind of check on him. You kind of have to know that person. You
Mhm.
have to know that person inside and out. Um,
Yeah. Thank you, Alicia, for joining in and
yeah,
tagging some people. She said this is deep, y'all.
yeah.
Tune in.
But
Yeah.
you have to know that person. You have to you have to be, that is definitely an uncomfortable conversation.
Oh
You have
yeah.
to be in tune. You gotta know. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no other way I can say it, but you have to know. You gotta be able to call it out.
Yeah.
I've dealt with suicide. I've walked into rooms with teens that I've had to interview, and I have my list of questions. You can ask my coworkers. And let me tell you, first of all, I pray before
Yeah.
every time I go and talk to a kid. You know, call me
Yeah.
spiritual, call me whatever. I pray to the Lord. It's the reason why you have me in this profession for the longest, and it ain't for the pay. God, if let me straight from the questions. You got to be willing to follow that you know, and
Yeah.
I will switch it and say, is there anything going on? Are you having thoughts of suicide? You got to call that thing out sometimes. Sometimes we scared to call it out, but if the Lord is giving it to you,
You better
say,
do it.
I
That's
got a feeling
discernment.
something ain't right with you. I've called my sons on college campuses. I got one across the water. I can't get to him, but the one that I know can get to him. And what I know is that when you connected to something, your husband, your daddy, your brother, your son, you gonna get that something right here that say something ain't right with your son.
Pick up
And
that phone and
you
call it.
can ask any one of my sons. I'm texting. You okay? Mom, I'm good. Well, you on my mind. I'm praying for you. I don't know what you're going through, but I bind that up. I bind that up right there. The enemy not gonna have you, baby. You got to know, and
Yeah.
you gotta be comfortable in what you know. You gotta be comfortable in it. I will. Hey, you feeling okay? I got some good friends. Hey, you feeling all right? You on my brain heavy today? You, and that could be the prayer person in me, Miss Nikki.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you gotta know. You gotta
Yeah.
walk in your boldness. You gotta call
Yeah.
that thing out, and you got to be ready to go to war behind whatever
Yes.
it is this person is saying or doing.
Yes.
So
And that
especially
goes
with black men,
together.
and
Yeah.
especially with black men,
Yes.
we don't know what they battle. We
Well,
hear it's
Christy,
hard to be
that's what
black.
I was getting ready to go and ask you real
We don't know.
fast. Christy,
Hmm.
right there,
Hmm.
when black men walk into the room, to their homes, help a woman that is, let's just help that woman that's nagging, and help her to understand how his battle was outside that door today.
Uh-oh. Okay, let me tell you. This is a learn. This is where I messed up. I will own this. This is where I messed up in my marriage when I was married. Learn from this. Um, the man comes home. I don't know what he battled all day. I don't know what battles at work he battled all day. They're not gonna come home and say, you come home. Your job, the man wants to come home to a safe atmosphere, not to a nagging wife. Yes, you had a bad day. This ain't about you right now. That man come home, hey sweetheart, how was your day? It's so good to see you today. I don't care if you happy to see his ass or not. It's so good to see you today. If he needs to calm down with a beer, if he needs to decompress with a brandy, with an old fashioned, get your sage tail up, fix that man, pop that cork on that beer, baby. You need it dressed. You need some time to decompress. Let that man go sit on the throne. Men call the throne room for a reason. That's a whole nother topic. They call the bathroom the throne room for a reason. Let that man sit on that porcelain and get his mind together. If he gotta go smoke a cigar, if he gotta go in a, he's not wanting to be around you. Let him allow him the space to decompress from his day. The men ain't bringing it into the house. That's their sanctuary. That's their safe space. They're not bringing outside in. Let him have the time to sit 30 minutes, an hour. Leave him alone. He don't want to hear about the kids. He don't want to hear about this and that. If you provide a safe space for that man, after he
Mhm.
decompresses, he gonna come back and say, hey, sweetheart, how was your day? How these kids doing? He gonna come back and give to you what you just gave to him. He's not trying to not ignore your day or this and that, but you create that safe space, and then he'll come and say, oh, babe, today was a day. Sweetheart, let me tell me how that is. Nah, Kristi did not do that. Kristi was like, I can't leave. I didn't need, well, this needs to be paid. That needs to be paid. He know what needs to damn be paid. You ain't got to remind him the minute he walk in. That was a learn. I had to learn that. I didn't get it until the marriage was over. Ladies, don't be like
Ooh.
me. Get it before the marriage is over. Mine didn't feel safe enough to tell me, can you just let me have a minute? Because
Ooh.
I was being INDEP and I'm that chick. He don't want her. He see her in the
Mhm.
boardroom. He don't want her. He won't come home to here. And if the Kristi, that's being servant, it's okay to serve your boo. I don't know why that is such a nasty word. Serving. You let me tell you, ladies, that puts you over the top. Fix a man plate and see how far it'll get you. Girl, I'll fix plates no more. It's okay, I'll do it. Fix a man plate and see how far it gets you. That's just not who I am. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Oh God. Ooh.
I'll fix it. Don't worry about
Look,
it.
look,
Well,
my arms are folded, and I ain't look, and I ain't disengaged. I'm just like, ooh,
it ain't servanthood. Fix that man a cup of
look,
coffee before he wake up in the morning.
exactly.
Fix that cup of coffee before he get
Come on
out the
here. I'm
door in the
gonna
morning.
fix the plate, baby. Okay, yes, Alicia. Yes, fix
Fix
it
that
plate.
coffee. Bring him that coffee in the morning. Meet him home from work a week straight with his beer popped. I don't drink beer. We don't do that in here. Oh, okay. But you're saying I'm not attacking anybody's, convictions, whatever. I'm not. That is not what this is, ladies. Please hear me out. Please hear me out.
Oh, she say my grandmama did it, and my papa gave her the entry check,
Entire check. Come
entire
on
check
here.
every Friday.
Grandma ain't had grandpa bringing the check. We love a good Victoria's Secret. We love a good beat down and this and that. We love all of that, baby. All of that you saw on Saturday is wonderful. But this I know how to wake up and fix that cup of coffee before you get up on out the bed and bring you that cup of coffee by the bed. Here you go, sweetheart. Hmm. Your lunch is already made. It's already. Don't worry about it. Your lunch is right there.
That was an aroma in the home.
Make that atmosphere consistently safe, and then you're gonna know his body language. Ooh, something off with Bay. Something off with Bay. Bay, you good? He may not tell you, but he'll know that I'm safe enough, or he'll start to feel safe enough to say, "Well, babe, what you thought about something? I don't go to no counseling." A man that's safe enough, they might admit, yeah,
Right. I'll make a waffle and a bit
baby,
and a bacon
I
too.
will scramble that egg too. I will send you the.
I
I will
can't cook, but
scramble
I
that.
sure know what Whataburger is, and I can plate they mac. I can plate they little pancakes and sausage real good, cause
Listen,
them real pancakes.
but here's the deal, and you don't do this for everybody, obviously. This ain't treatment for
Now this ain't
everybody.
for everybody now,
But
y'all.
but this is the man that's coming home, like you said,
But the
the
good
man.
super save saints, we talking about your husbands.
Yes, yeah. This is
But
this
you
is the man
sisters,
that's
it's
coming home.
complicated for the one man that show up quite often.
I mean, make it work how you work it. But that's for that's how
I'm
you
single, but
create
if
that
somebody
safe
see
space.
this, they gonna tell me something.
That's how
Same.
you create that safe space. You get that safe space, and then he'll start.
Yeah.
He'll feel safe enough to do whatever. And men are they're action oriented. Men may not say, "See, I'm spending time with you. See, I'm this and that." When that man come in from decompressing, and you may be sitting on the couch, or it may be an hour or two later after y'all ate dinner, and he come lay his head in your lap, that's a man telling you, "You safe to me. You home to me." That's part of him collecting himself. That's part of him feeling like, okay, he might open up. That could be his open up. You got to know. Let me tell you something, Miss Carter. Don't you threaten me, sweetheart. Cause I'm old school from Louisiana. And what we gonna know is that we gonna feed you. Listen, I watched my grandmother. My mama would go to work early in the morning, and she was a servant
Ooh,
too. But she would bring it
yes.
to my grandmother's house
She
to
said,
bring us
let's take some
food.
cooking classes, sister. We want
Baby, I
people
watched my
to
grandmother
lead the
every
fast.
morning
We
have
want
my
to meet the fast.
grandfather's
Yeah, we
10
want to
little
meet the fast.
10 little lunch kit. And baby, she had his lunch made. And ain't nothing wrong with a sandwich. But baby, she had him some gravy and rice and some chops made. She had the breakfast. She had his thing of coffee. And what she did do, I don't know what went on the night before. I don't care if they was mad at each other. I cannot recall one morning that I was there in my growing up that my grandmother did not have that breakfast, did not have that lunch made, and did not have the house homey when he came home. Call me old school, Miss Nikki. I think
Yeah, I'm
I
with you.
think that's a way to keep it safe. Did they have issues? I'm sure. For black men to tell you that is safe. It's an old tool that I hear about whenever I talk about black men. A black man venting to you, that's the best compliment ever. A black man
Yeah,
venting to you,
yeah,
that's the best compliment ever.
yeah.
And you know what else was coming to me? And I got to be to work for now. And I got somewhere to be. But whenever they talking, they don't really want us to solve the problem. They'll ask,
Nope.
"Hey, what you think?" Sometimes, guess what? Ain't nobody been hearing them on the job. Sometimes you just gotta be there. You show right. Uh-huh. They just want you to listen. They want you to listen. They just want you to listen. That's it. But you
Yes,
you you
ma'am.
have to be consistently safe in your body language, in your tone, in your action for that man, for your your sons, your children to be safe and tell you this and that. How many parents say, "I didn't know my child was dealing with it"? And granted, children don't tell you everything. I didn't tell our
No,
parents everything. Children don't tell you everything. But it's okay for you to go in there and be like, "You sure been in this room a whole lot." See, I grew up who you couldn't keep the door closed
now
long.
you ain't
You don't
closing no
engage
doors.
with the family.
No locked doors.
You ain't gonna be
Mm-mm. Uh-oh, Chrissy.
um, but
There you go.
I bust up in rooms now. Of course my youngest is living here going to college and work. I bust up in his room now at his to the world he grown. But you just because you turn 18 don't mean you're grown. You old enough to go to war and go to jail. That's the only thing you
Right.
grown up for at 18. You can't even get into the club. But anywho, I go in there, I'm like, what you doing? What we doing in here? You looking sad around here? Everything okay? I'm checking in. I'm checking in. I'm checking in. I'm checking in to the point to where they like, oh Jesus, my
Yeah.
mama's so annoying.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it when you get older. But you gotta check in. You gotta
Yeah.
make it a safe space. And it's not easy, ladies, gentlemen, whoever's it is not easy. It's consistent because it's days you don't want to do all that. It is, but you got to be consistent with the safe space for our black men. They have to have a consistent safe space, whatever that is. It has to be. It has to be for them to open up. And I'm not saying the ones who have committed suicide or for whatever reason they didn't have a safe space. Sometimes it's internal. Sometimes you have issues that could have stemmed from mom and dad. Sometimes I just saw mom and daddy issues. Sometimes you have that. Sometimes you have a void that's not filled, and nobody can fill it but that person. I don't care how good of a person I am. If my person has mother issues or have that lack for whatever reason, it's a void that I could never feel, because I'm not your mom or I'm not your dad. But I'm gonna recognize it in my person. I would hope I would want to bring it to that person's attention. I realize you still may be struggling from this and that, and then how we want to talk about it. It's you got to know your person. That's all I can say. You kind of have to know that person. And I know we'll get into that body language and trauma,
Oh,
how that
yes, we
affects
are.
communication, because that's a big thing in communication. Traumatic experiences, and
Because we driving everybody. See y'all, all this is driving y'all to the love month. And so Christy gonna
that's
really tell
most
y'all about
definitely.
love. And
That's
all
most
this collides right in together. And
definitely.
yes, ma'am. Look, Christy, girl, you worked me out today. I
I'm
just
so sorry. My
look,
phone
look, she talking about oh my
fell.
phone.
My phone fell.
Listen, you work,
Y'all gonna
she
take
say
this
this is
rough with me.
good. Yes,
I'm so
Alicia.
sorry. I got a little heavy towards the end,
And
but
she will be back tomorrow morning at
suicide in
7:30.
black men is
And
a big thing for
so
me.
what I want us to talk about tomorrow is definitely let's talk about dressing that body language.
Okay.
Let's talk about dressing that body language
Okay.
because the physical, we got to go over it.
Yeah.
What you looking like,
Yeah.
that also is a language too.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
people talk to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 I'm here for
listen,
it.
y'all.
I'm
I
here
hope
for
y'all have enjoyed this conversation. Yeah,
it.
we ran a little over,
I'm
but guess
sorry.
what? I no, you good. I'm just telling them. So y'all go and watch the replay.
Yes.
Like, tag, and share. Her name is Kristi Michelle. Kristi, give them your
Yes.
handle. Where can they find you at? How can
Listen.
they connect with you? She'll be back tomorrow, but y'all just need to know this is a household name. And this is
I
our
just
early bird encouragement chat. And I'm so excited that you decided to join in and do this whole
I'm
entire
excited you
movement.
asked me. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm Kristi Michelle. On Instagram, I'm underscore Kristi Michelle. I don't tweet. So I don't even remember my Twitter. I don't tweet. Trying to do better. But Facebook, Kristi Michelle. My business page is Tay Brand Enterprises. But Kristi Michelle, you can reach me on that. You can message me, and that's me. That's me. That's how you get me.
And this is an expert. This is a professional.
It is. I am.
She licensed, degreed, and all those things. Life hack talk and everything.
Yeah,
So she can get you on the professional side. She can get you on the street side.
I
Whichever
can.
side you need on, she can stand in.
I
So
can.
that's what we're excited about, and I enjoy that. And you guys, let's go ahead on and pray so we
Yeah.
can get started on our day outside of our home. Lord, this is the day that you have made, God. We shall rejoice and be glad. And God, I thank you for another opportunity. I thank you for this platform. And I thank you, God, for our guest, Kristi Michelle. God, be an amazing Father. And God, I ask that you would just continue, Father God, to bless. Give us what we need, Father God, and take us through this day safely, God, as we travel, God. I pray that something was said today that really, truly resonates deep in the heart And I'm calling out our Black men that
Yeah.
they are able to receive this word and that they are able to find their safe space, God, and they're able to reach out to the person, Father God, that they need, God, to help them along. But mainly, God, that they're going to reach out to you and you're going to
Mhm.
guide them where they need to go. God, I pray for our world. I pray for everyone, God. And I pray a special prayer, God, for the families in Memphis, Tennessee, God. I
Mm.
pray that you touch them and you bless them, God. And I pray that you will continue to keep us in our days to come. Do it, God, and we trust you and we believe. We stand on your promises. It is so in Jesus' name we pray and ask. Amen. Listen, it's
Amen.
not about what I say, it's about how I make you feel. And man, I hope I made you feel some type of way. Have a great day.
Bye, y'all.